何してるの？
ちょっとね。ほら、動かないで。
ティエラ？一体何を？
Sometimes certain episodes are just really hard to put into words when it comes to reviewing the episode and the feelings behind how you felt about that episode. And when it comes to 𝐜𝐴, episode number 7, I think it is? No, number 6. Episode number 6 of 𝐜𝐴, there were certain events that happened, right? Tiara going on her first mission, Tiara earning the... Well, not earning, but becoming an adventurer, getting a G rank. Her killing for the first time out of necessity, her calming down, 𝐼𝐶 because he was emitting a lot of big bloodlust, because of course he is. There's bandits that are threatening his life and the people around him, right? So there's a lot of moments that happen in this episode. Also, the Moon Sanctum disappearing, that being like a country's like big red flag, big alert, because this like immovable fortress, immovable force has moved. Sorry guys, bad allergies and coughs and stuff. But that has caused like a lot of dismay and a lot of like alarm within the country, and now the king's trying to figure out, okay, how the hell do I figure this out? The positive behind that is 𝐼𝐶 is heading to the kingdom that's worrying about that, so that's an event that happened. I think the other part of it is Tiara and 𝐼𝐶 getting a lot closer this episode, from holding hands to her calming him down and, hugging and just like, emotionally, romantically probably getting a lot closer. Funny moments that happen between the guild girl and 𝐼𝐶, as well as her, kind of emitting a lot of jealousy, towards 𝐼𝐶 and Tiara. And then them ultimately meeting other adventurers, one being like a lizard dragon man and another girl who's like a boxer and stuff, who the boxer's definitely inappropriately ranked, kind of like 𝐼𝐶 and Tiara are. And then the dragon swordmaster guy is a rank, which seems appropriate for him. And last thing I'll say is we also found out that there is a certain island basically based on Japan, that is where all the samurai essentially come from. So if you're a samurai by nature, by job, then you've typically come from this island called like, I think it's like a play on Hokkaido, but like it's like Hishimoto or something like that. And essentially that Hishimoto island was built, or kind of like how Japan was, just through nature. It became its own country, and the people there really focus on honing in their sword skills and stuff. So a lot of information that happened, lots of events that happened. But the reason I started that video was like sometimes it's hard to describe how you feel, is even though all those things I mentioned, right? I spent 120 seconds going over like, hey, here's all these things that happen. I just felt like it was an okay episode, and I can't really put my feelings, or like I can't really place my feelings to words specifically. But as the episode ended, I just felt like, yep, that was an episode of 𝐜𝐴. That was an okay episode. Like, I wasn't bored, I wasn't entertained. I wasn't like, oh my gosh. I wasn't like, ugh. Like, I didn't need to pause the episode. My eyes didn't roll back. So it obviously was good enough to watch it. And I wanted to pay attention because there was a lot of like, it just kind of kept moving forward. There was a lot of moving parts. I did giggle, like, like a little laugh. Like, I didn't laugh, but, I went like, one of those, like, one of those moments to where like you have an emotion, but it wasn't a strong emotion. It was just like, when the guild girl was questioning 𝐼𝐶. Otherwise, outside of that though, like I have like no real words for the episode, because like, it was just a fine episode. Like it was an episode of 𝐜𝐴. And that's kind of how I want to like end the video. Just like, it was just an okay episode. If you put a anime gun to the head and you were like, rate this episode, I'd be like 7 out of 10, 6.5. 6.5, 7 out of 10. I feel like it was just like right there. You throw a dart, boom, it's just right there, middle of the road. I didn't aim high for a 10, I didn't aim low for a 1. Just right there in the middle between 5 and 7. Like, like 7 if I'm feeling really gracious, not 5, like 6 if I'm feeling like, you know, somewhere in between those things. 6.8, you know, some metaphorical number. But that's how I felt. You know, I watched it and it was just an okay episode. But like I said, lots of moving parts, lots of good context for things that are to come. But I really feel like, you know, here's where I'll end the video. I think, and I don't think it has yet. Let me just double check. Yeah, it has not. I think if 𝐜𝐡𝐚𝐧𝐧𝐞𝐥 was able to get a dub, an English dub, I think that would earn it at least 0.5 to 1 full basis point for entertainment value. I think that would do a lot for me. Actually, there's 2 things. 1, English dub, and 2, not watching week by week. I think this is one of those anime to where like you're on, it's a Sunday, it's a Saturday, you don't really feel like playing the game. There's not really any new anime. You know, there's no Attack on Titan, no big anime for the weekend. You're just like, what do I watch? I'm scrolling, you know, whatever. Like, oh, let me just watch this, and you just binge watch, you know, the 12 episodes or however many, you know, 11, 12, 13 episodes this is gonna have in, you know, 2.5 hours or whatever. You're like, yeah, that was an okay waste of my time. Maybe it's even one of those that it has a dub, you throw it on the background, you know, you grab your, you know, your Switch or your, you know, in my case, you grab your analog pocket and you're playing the game as you're just kind of like passively watch. You're like, yeah, that was an enjoyable time. I feel like that's where this anime would thrive in and get a decent community around and be like, yeah, I would like to see a season 2 of that, you know? Hope that makes sense. All right, I'm going to end there, and I'll see you guys next week for episode number 7. Hopefully next week is more, I don't know, maybe it has a little more something about it. All right, peace.